YouTube? I'm Kirsty, and in case you missed Monday Night Raw tonight, I got you. Okay, so first things first, Corey Graves is on vacation this week, which I'm kind of okay with. Jerry the King Lawler took his place, and he was going to have a very special King's Court tonight. Our first fight was Roman Reigns versus Dolph Ziggler. Dolph comes in with the microphone and says he's glad Roman is okay, even though, they showed Dolph Ziggler's tweets. He was kind of rude to Roman. But he doesn't understand why Roman gets so much attention for things that almost happened to him when Dolph got speared by Goldberg 3 times, and he kicks Roman in the face before the bell rings. The bell then rings. Reigns punches him. Dolph rolls to ringside. Roman goes after him, and Dolph gives him a zigzag ringside. Roman does a drive-by kick on the apron. They go back in the ring, and Ziggler DDTs Roman. Dolph does a second zigzag, but Roman kicks out. Dolph goes for the super kick, but Reigns catches it and does a Superman punch, but Dolph kicks out of a Superman punch. Roman goes for a second Superman punch, but Dolph gets a Famouser instead. Roman kicks out of that. Dolph runs at Reigns, but Reigns spears him. Cover for 3, Roman wins. Then there's a backstage thing with Becky Lynch, who says people keep asking why she keeps calling people out. She wants to fight the best. And Becky wants to know what happened in her 4-month vacation after running crying from the WWE that made Sasha Banks so angry. Becky called Sasha the best to never be great. Then we have our King's Court. It's Jerry the King Lawler. He's going to interview Sasha Banks and ask her the hard-hitting questions. But he says, tonight starts the King of the Ring tournament. We will get to that. And Lawler makes his predictions for the King of the Ring. He says for Raw, he thinks Cedric Alexander and Ricochet will do really well. And for SmackDown, then all the lights go out. Jerry Lawler says, I know what this is, and he starts running up the ramp. When he gets to the top of the ramp, he turns around to look in the ring. The Fiend is behind him, mandible claw. The lights come up, he's gone, but Jerry Lawler's just laying on the ramp, and the refs run out. Our next match was Ricochet and The Miz versus Drew McIntyre and Baron Corbin. Unpopular opinion, I love Baron Corbin. Ricochet does a standing moonsault to Drew. Drew rolls out and Miz throws out Corbin. Ricochet helps Miz pick up speed. It's almost the Irish whip, but in a nice way because they're tag team partners. So he helps Miz pick up speed and kick them, and Ricochet flies. McIntyre does a spine buster to Miz, but Miz DDTs him and tags Ricochet. Enziguri to Corbin, kick to Drew on ringside, and Ricochet just nonstop jumps and kicks and standing moonsaults to Corbin. Drew breaks the cover after the standing moonsault. Ricochet does a big kick to Drew, and Miz does the skull-crushing finale to Drew, but Corbin is the legal man. Corbin starts to get Ricochet down, but Miz pulls Ricochet out of the corner. Baron was running at him, and Miz was ringside, and he literally pushed Ricochet out of the way from ringside, even though Ricochet was in the ring. So Corbin hit the turnbuckle instead of hitting Ricochet. Ricochet did the recoil to Corbin, cover for 3, Ricochet and The Miz win. There's a Booker T appearance via Skype. He said he thinks at the end of King of the Ring, it will be King Drew McIntyre. Then there was Braun Strowman versus AJ Styles and the OC for the United States Championship. AJ slaps Braun, and Braun shoulder tackles him. AJ goes for the phenomenal forearm, but Braun slaps him in mid-air. Gallows and Anderson jump in and attack Braun for a DQ. They're gonna do a magic killer when Seth Rollins runs out and helps clear the ring. He tells Braun they're even, because remember last week, Braun came out and helped him with all these guys after their DQ, and then he grabbed the title and just kind of stared at it before giving it back to Seth. So there's a backstage segment where Seth tells him, look, I'm not stupid. I know you want my title, and we'll settle that. But first, we need to take care of the OC. So I'm going to try to get us a tag team match for the titles. Us versus the OC. Now it's King of the Ring, round 1. Cesaro versus Samoa Joe. Cesaro does a big uppercut immediately after the bell. Samoa Joe hits Cesaro out of the ring. One more hit and Cesaro goes over the barricade on people's feet in the crowd. Commercial. They're back in the ring. Joe uppercuts, goes for a senton, but Cesaro rolls out of the way. He gives Joe a big boot and a big backdrop. And Samoa's not a little guy. Cesaro does a high crossbody, but Joe kicks out. Joe does a one-arm slam, which I guess they called it, and I tried to hook on phonics it. Iranagi? Is that correct, guys? Then he gets his senton. He covers, but Cesaro kicks out. Cesaro does the Cesaro swing on Samoa Joe. Only a couple times, but still. I couldn't do that. Then Joe gets out of it and puts Cesaro in the coquina clutch. Cesaro taps, Samoa Joe advances. It shows Elias at the studio working on a song, and Drake Maverick is in disguise, tries to attack him, but fails miserably. Elias beats him up and still holds the 24/7 title. Then Elias comes out to do a farewell ballad. Lots of feedback, like when he's playing the guitar and then the guitar isn't tuned. So he yells at the stagehand to switch guitars. Stagehand takes off his hoodie. It's R-Truth. Elias kicks out of every move at 2. When Truth picks up the guitar to hit him, Elias runs out of the ring, runs away. Still has the title. Then backstage, Rey Mysterio says Andrade ripping his mask off was a disgrace. But what hurts more is that he hasn't been able to give any payback. Rey says his injuries that he's had for years have caught up to him. He's hanging up his mask to make room for the new generation. And he starts to take off his mask. Then Dominic, his son, comes and says, no, you can't do this yet. You can't retire yet. You promised me that I would debut as your tag team partner so I could tell my kids and my grandkids about it. And I wrote, Rey says okie dokie, but that's not what Rey Mysterio said. He said something, very Rey Mysterio-y, like, yes, my child, or something. That was more of a priest. I don't know. Then we have the New Day versus the Revival. Xavier has a big drop kick to Dawson. Both teams tag. Big E drops Wilder quickly and does a splash. Tag to Woods, who goes to the top turnbuckle. And Dawson runs over and pulls him down. Big E throws the men out of the ring. Goes to run. RKO out of nowhere. Where was Randy Orton? I don't know. He just showed up in the middle of the ring to RKO Big E midair. Kofi then runs down the ramp, but he gets RKO'd right when he steps in the ring. Xavier comes to help, and the Revival picks him up. They hold him up so Randy can do an RKO. The Revival and Orton continuously beat them. The Revival jumps on Xavier's legs a lot, or his one leg a lot. So he'll probably be injured. Then, since Jerry the King Lawler is injured from his mandible claw, there's just a normal Sasha Banks interview where she says she decided it was time for a change, so she dyed her hair blue. Michael Cole asked her why she attacked a grieving Natalya and why she attacked Becky, and Sasha just says, "You're welcome." and leaves. Next, we had Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross versus Team Fire and Desire. I'm not going to call them that. Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. Sonya gets Bliss in a headlock, and she and Mandy take turns hitting her with knees. Mandy does some big kicks to Bliss. Nikki kicks Mandy from ringside, so Mandy jumps over the ropes to ringside and slaps her. But then Alexa Bliss does like baseball slide kick to Mandy when she starts to climb back in. Alexa slaps her, and Mandy gives her a huge knee. Then 2 tags Nikki and Sonya. Sonya dominates Nikki with punches and kicks until Nikki runs Mandy's head into the post. While Mandy's on apron, Nikki's fighting Sonya in the ring, then just walks over and does that. Nikki does this twisted crossbody to Deville, and Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross win. Braun Strowman and Seth Rollins are sitting in the locker room, and Braun keeps looking at Seth's title and says to follow his lead, and they'll walk out tag team champs. Then we have another first round King of the Ring. It's Cedric Alexander versus Sami Zayn. I couldn't even follow it. Like, seriously, Cedric Alexander is so fast. He's like the best kind of flea. He's just like phew, 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 phew. That's exactly what it looked like. He jumps, flies, a lot of kicks. Sami tries a few roll-ups, but it's Cedric's show. A lumbar check folds Sami up. Cedric moves on. That's literally all I have written because it was phew, 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 phew. Oh, then we had a backstage thing with the Street Profits. Montez is 2 for 2 on his King of the Ring brackets. Dawkins had Cesaro in the finals, so he's upset. They have amazing looking popcorn, and Dawkins wants tag team King of the Ring tournaments, but Montez says they don't because we are the kings. And then they say Seth Rollins is fighting tonight, but they keep calling him Seth Brawlins, which I kind of like. Then AJ and the OC are talking backstage about how they'll win. It was nothing special. Then we had a little backstage thing with Natalya, who says she just came from the doctor again. It's been a really emotional week for her. She doesn't know why Sasha attacked her. Then Sasha attacks her again backstage and tells Natty to go. This is a clean show, but tells Natty to go to where what happens in a cell down below, bleep in a cell. And she says, when you get there, tell your dad I said hi. Then our final match is, Zach, please. Seth Rollins. Thank you, baby. I've tucked her in like 6 times. Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman versus the OC with AJ Styles for the Tag Team Championship. Thank you, baby. Gallows gets those hands. I said it. Braun tags Rollins. Gallows comes in with punches, but tags Anderson. Anderson pummels Rollins in the turnbuckle, but Rollins comes back with his own punches. He gets Gallows out with his knee, throws Anderson out, drop kicks them. Gallows slams Seth's still injured ribs on a barricade. Commercial. Rollins has some strong punches, but Anderson's spine buster does it for him. There's a cover, but Seth Rollins kicks out. Rollins does a blockbuster to Anderson from the top rope. AJ distracts Braun on ringside, so Gallows attacks him from behind. Seth is trying to tag, but Braun's on the ground ringside. There's no one for him to tag. So Rollins, he burned it down. He got a super kick and a sling blade, both to Anderson, when he's on his last legs. Rollins climbs the turnbuckle. AJ pulls him down. The ref does not see AJ interfering. Gallows and Anderson are both working Seth, but Seth gets out of the Magic Killer. They bring Seth to ringside, and Strowman takes everybody out. Yeah. That's weird. They bring Seth to ringside. Strowman takes everybody out. Yeah, sorry. My dogs are distracting me. Braun power slams Anderson, and Seth does the stomp to Styles. Braun Strowman and Seth Rollins are your Raw Tag Team Champions. And that was Monday Night Raw. If you're looking for a podcast, then the amazing Oz Banks and I do one called Beyond Serious. It's actually, we're doing it early tomorrow morning, so if you follow us on Facebook tonight, maybe you can chat with us. We put a couple clips up live. You can always follow me on Twitter at always_KIRSTIE. And if I don't annoy you too much, feel free to subscribe. Hi, Sega. And thank you so much to all my subscribers. You guys are the absolute best. And I guess I will see you guys tomorrow night for SmackDown.